Hi everyone, welcome to our first Muscarella's virtual wine school. We are really excited to be able to offer this to you guys in the comfort of your own home. So to start off, my name is Tam. I am the GM here and I also teach all of the beer and wine schools and have been for about 2 years. And I'm a self-taught boozy guide, I guess. So we like to do a lot of fun events here, and it's nice to be able, like I said, to bring this to you guys at home. And this is Alyssa.
Hi, I'm Alyssa. I don't know nearly as much as Tam does.
You will.
But I'm learning a little bit, so I'm just here to ask some questions for her.
Yeah. So when you guys picked up your stuff today, in there you got all of your wine samples, all of your food. You also got this little wine tasting guide. So use this as your kind of cheat sheet, your notes. Also in there are all the prices to all the wines that you're going to be sampling today. They're all purchased at the Hermitage Fine Wine Goods Spirit store. Later this evening at about 7:15, if you do want to log into our Zoom meeting, you should have gotten a link in your email with that as well. I'll be actually at the live class here teaching, so you'll have an opportunity to ask me any questions you have or comment on the class if you liked it, if you didn't like it. Basically just kind of see what the live class is if you have never attended one as well. We did include these little wine glasses too in case you don't have any wine glasses at home, so you can use those as well.
Or if you just don't want to wash dishes.
Yeah, don't do dishes. This is easy peasy. Be in your pajamas if you want.
Yeah, we're here for fun.
Yeah. So also another cool thing that we are going to be doing at the end of the video is releasing our next 3 months of classes. So be sure to tune in all the way till the end. The classes fill up very quickly, and even if you do want to do them from home, there's never going to be a limit of how many people we can do. So if you want to stay at home all winter long and do these classes, that'll be great. During this video, we do suggest that you take some pauses, so be able to pause your video and restart it again. We want you to be able to taste the wines slowly and get everything out of it. So that time, take your notes and maybe, like I said, check it in the Zoom meeting later.
Yeah.
So tonight's class, it is called Wine Throwdown. We are taking 2 grape varietals, Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, and we are going to be sampling each grape varietal from 3 separate places. Okay, so tonight we're going to be tasting Chardonnay from 3 different regions. One being from France, the next one's going to be from Argentina, and the third is from California.
Is there a reason when you're doing a tasting with whites and then reds, is there a reason you would do whites before reds?
Yes. So when you're doing a tasting, like she said, where you have both red and white wine, you do want to start with white wine because white wine does not have tannin in it. And the tannin that is in red wine stays in your mouth a little bit longer, so it's kind of on the scale of which direction to go. You want to end with tannic wines.
Okay.
So tannin is one of the kind of 5 basic things about wine you should kind of know before going into tasting. Tannin is what's left on, or it's created from the seeds, skins, and stems of red grapes. Also, it's on white grapes, but well, that's on another class. But it comes from red wine. So that gives you that bitter or astringent taste in your mouth when you're drinking red wine. A couple other basics about wine tasting is body. So you'll hear me refer to, oh, this wine is light bodied, or this wine is medium to high, full bodied wine. That's how the wine feels when you take a sip. So
how do you tell the difference between light or full?
Yeah, so a good comparison I like to use is think of drinking milk. If you are drinking skim milk, it's watered down.
Yeah.
So it's a very light body in your mouth. But if you're drinking whole milk or buttermilk, it's very full in your mouth. So think of that when you're trying to decipher how heavy or light a wine is. Some other things that you can use to help you do tastings at home or just in a normal class is a white background. So we have the luxury of having these white tablecloths, but You can use like Alyssa's like notebook was perfect. You can use that if you just have a notebook at home, a white piece of paper, a paper towel even. Just lay it down. What's that gonna do is if you just hold up both of these, like the first two glasses and hold it over, you can see a major color difference. So that all plays into rules of like, remember, all the same grape, they're just all grown different places.
Right.
And there's reasons why. Another thing when you're looking at the glass, you see a lot of people like swirl their glass around, you know, they're not just like super fancy snobs. They do it for a reason, well, some of them. But there's the tiers that run down the inside of your glass are called the legs. And that can tell a lot about, you can just visibly look at that and determine a lot about a wine. Number one is sugar content and alcohol levels of the wine. If it's really slow moving, thick legs on the inside of that glass, it usually means a little bit higher quality. Could just mean it's more sugar or higher alcohol too. And then there's two more left. We have acid and sweetness, which sometimes are very confusing.
Yeah, especially for beginners.
Yeah, and if you drink a wine that has like a really, really high acid, you get that like the sensation like when you suck on a lemon.
Yeah, our friend Krista says she calls them
The gushers.
The gushers.
Yeah, the gushers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your mouth starts to water. That means you're drinking a really high acid wine, but sometimes you can get that confused with like it's like a sweet sensation.
Yeah.
So the more you learn, I think the easier it is to differentiate. Tonight we're not drinking any wines that are sweet, so which means there's no residual sugar left in the wine or there's no sugar added into the wine. Okay? Sorry, should we start tasting?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
do it.
So I purposely picked France to begin the Chardonnay and as well as the Pinot Noirs.
Yeah.
And here's why. France is old world. It's like the motherland of wine.
Yeah.
Okay. So both Chardonnay and Pinot Noir are grown in a place called Burgundy. Burgundy is a very well-known area in France for wine, but these two grapes especially, they are like the top dogs in Burgundy. That's like this, which they have the best weather, the elevation, everything kind of just makes these grapes grow really beautifully there. So that being said, the first one we're going to try is going to be like the complete opposite of the last one. So we're going to kind of work through a progression. So let's try the first wine. And when you think Chardonnay, people are like thinking oaky bomb,
Yeah.
like vanilla, and this is the opposite. Okay?
Perfect.
So we'll try that one first. And white wine does not usually need to be this like swirled around. You do that for red wines to let it open up and breathe, but it's always nice just to swirl down just to get some and smell a lot more. So first, let's use your white background and look at this. And if you, especially white wines, you can always see through, but it's super, super light.
Yeah.
Like, it almost looks clear when it's down
Right.
completely. So I would just call this like a really pale straw. When you smell it, I smell like apples from pear, yeah. Mm-hmm. So you already think like, this is gonna be like really fresh and
Yeah.
light.
Crispy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Ooh, gushers.
Yeah, a lot of gushers.
A lot of gushers. Very high acidic wine, light bodied. This is like the perfect hot summer night,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Doesn't have like a ton of like super distinctive like fruit. So I think it would pair really well with almost all food, right?
Yeah. Maybe like specifically like.
So our Chardonnays
Salmon?
tonight we're doing, yeah, that would be good on with salmon. Our Chardonnays we're doing tonight, we're doing we sent home you guys just like a really beautiful charcuterie board. Nothing is specifically paired to anything on there. We just wanted you guys to be able to like have a little snack while you're trying these first wines.
Right.
The next wines, the Pinot Noirs, are specifically paired, so we'll go over them when we get there. Yeah, what do you think?
Super drinkable,
Right?
that's for sure.
Super drinkable. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Chardonnay in general is the 5th most grown grape in the world. Chardonnay is one of the most versatile grapes too, because as you're going to be able to tell, you can have something super light and crisp and drinkable like that, but then when we get to that last California one, it is like cold weather white wine.
Mhm.
It is like oaky and like sitting by a fire, and
You're like, this is what I want to drink in the summer.
this is what I want to drink in summer. By the time we get to this, we're going to be colder months, I think.
Perfect.
Alyssa and I also like to describe exactly where we would be
I got
when
nervous.
drinking a certain wine. So
Yeah.
you're going to hear that a lot.
Yeah.
We make it creative. We do. All right, so our next wine is from Argentina, and Argentina is one of my favorite wine regions
Yeah.
all across the board because of the price of the wine and the quality of the wine. There's just a lot of factors in Argentina that are working for the consumer. So where wine is grown in Argentina, it's on the side of the Andes Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
So think high elevation between like 3,500 to 10,000 feet above sea level. And in Argentina, the wine's grown on plateaus on the mountainside. So it's not like steep hills, there's flat land. So there's these things called diurnal shifts. And what that is, have you ever been like hiking somewhere where it's like really hot during the day, it's up in the mountains, and then at night it gets really cold? So that's what the grapes there go through every day. So during the day they plump up, all the waters get, all the grapes plump up and get a really nice sugar during the day, but then at night when it starts to get really cold, it creates really good acid. So they're just really good, well-balanced wines for the price.
Does it like speed up the process of what you want to accomplish?
It can. It does because it's so hot during the day, but then it gets so cold at night. So it kind of does the same thing of having a really long growing season.
Yeah.
Their growing season is very short,
Okay,
but it's
so-
happening quick. It's quicker. You know,
Okay.
depending on how high up you are.
Yeah.
Then it's obviously altered.
Right.
But Argentina also doesn't have any sort of pest that they have to fight with too. So the winemakers don't have to spend a lot of money on, stopping that.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's try this wine. And this one is a lot darker than the first wine.
Don't spill it.
Don't spill it. It's a lot darker than the first wine and a little bit lighter than our third wine.
Yeah.
Right? So,
It's like a mustardy hue to it for
like
me.
your shirt.
My shirt.
Nice. This is like baked apple, right?
Yeah.
Not as much gushers.
No.
So, in a little bit heavier body, like a medium-bodied wine. That's good.
Yeah.
This is a good fall wine,
Yes.
or like even cooler summer nights.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. Food-wise, I think you could eat this with probably a lot of things, like even salmon or
Salmon with like a dill,
like a cream sauce. Yeah,
That'd be good.
that would be good.
This might even be like a good brunch wine with fruit.
Oh, that would be good. Like melon.
Yeah.
Yeah, with melon. I think I would do that with melon, because then you get different notes out of it.
Yeah.
That would be excellent with that.
Mm.
And this is going to be our least expensive Chardonnay we're trying tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
And that has to do with the
Wait,
region.
just the region, yeah. Argentina, obviously you can get really expensive wine from anywhere, but Argentina and Chile, they're both just pretty, they're like in that under $20 for sure. They have quality wines. Like you do not need to be spending $50 on anything from there unless somebody bought it for you.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to our next wine, our last Chardonnay, which is a California Chardonnay. It is from Napa Valley. So California, Napa and Sonoma, nice, warm summers. They have late fall, so it doesn't start getting cold until hopefully around end of October, early November. So they have really long growing seasons. Chardonnay out there almost always is oak aged. Why? Okay, so oak barrels are used to age all red wine, almost all red wine,
Okay.
but rarely used in any sort of white winemaking.
So
But
the only Is Chardonnay one of the only grapes that is oak that's white? For the most
part, there is some Sauvignon Blanc that is oak aged. It's called Fumé Blanc.
Okay.
So, but that's super rare.
Okay.
Okay. But for the most part, yeah, Chardonnay is oak aged, and the grape itself can handle that oak age because it also makes the wine a little bit tastier.
Okay. Flavorful.
Yeah, more flavorful. So then you get those notes of like we've been saying, butter, vanilla. A lot of people will use the term toast.
I was just gonna say that.
The toast.
It smells good.
Yeah. Toast is a term also used for bourbon, too.
Oh.
So how much the inside of the barrel is actually charred.
Okay.
So if it's light toast or medium toast or heavy toast, they're referring to the char on the inside of the barrel,
Okay.
not the flavor.
Okay.
But it also tastes like toast. It's weird. So this one, oh yeah,
It's really good.
this one's like chamomile.
Yeah.
Chamomile, vanilla, like a
Almost
like I
lavender
want this to be like a
me.
candle in my house. Yeah. Maybe Aldi's will make one.
Oh, shame.
This is much lighter than the last one, the color. This is like a straw.
Can I say something? Do I like oaky Chardonnays?
Are we having a realization
This
right now?
is good.
Okay. Let's go. I'm gonna try it.
I think that's delicious.
I don't think that is bad at all. Ooh, okay.
This is definitely fall.
This is fall.
I get like a nutmeggy.
Yeah, nutmeg.
Whew.
It's delish. Ooh, I want this with some like pecan crusted chicken. Just saying.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, pecan crusted chicken.
Yeah, that would be good. All right, so
Delicious.
we're gonna take a couple minutes and get ready for our next 3 wines. And at this point, like I said, take a pause, get some water, write down any questions you have or any notes, and feel free to email me any questions you have. So let's take some time and let's get ready for red.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys all liked those 3 Chardonnays. They were actually really good.
They were.
Yeah.
The middle one wasn't my favorite.
But you were surprised by the
I was
last
so
one.
surprised by the last one.
See, that's the goal of these.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. You learn
The goal is for me to find some more wine that I like to drink.
Okay, that's a great goal to have. It's 2020. We all need that goal.
Yeah, 2020
Okay.
for sure.
So let's just dive right into Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir as a whole is a very finicky grape. So it only grows well in certain climates. And it only doesn't produce a ton in climates it doesn't grow well in.
Okay.
So if it grows in, if the weather's perfect, it will grow abundantly, and it's one of the best regions to grow wine in, Pinot Noir in. But if you can grow it, technically you can grow anything anywhere. It's just how quality is it
Yeah.
gonna be.
What's
So,
like the perfect weather then for Pinot Noir?
Pinot Noir likes not a lot of sun,
Okay.
probably more rain than most grapes, but it's also super like can't be really windy there. It's like just like your annoying friend that you have to take places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Been friends for so long, you love her,
Yeah.
but like you know she's gonna complain all the
Yeah.
time.
We all have one.
Yeah. So, but I love Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that friend.
I love that front. So, because it doesn't grow everywhere super great, I picked 3 regions where I think it grows beautifully. Again, we're going to start off with France.
Mm-hmm.
Burgundy is Pinot Noir king,
Yeah.
right? And interestingly enough, another region that we picked that was the 3rd wine we're going to have, the last one, is on the same latitude line as Burgundy, France. So, Oregon.
Okay.
They're about 1 degree off of each other, but there's no coincidence but that Pinot Noir grows beautifully in both places.
Yeah.
So, and they're about the same elevation. So we'll get to that when we get to the Oregon one. But again, we're gonna try 3 separate regions. They're all very different. Same grape, all very different style.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go with the first one. This is like I said, from Burgundy, France. This is a Pinot Noir from there. On the French labels, you probably noticed, it's probably hard to see this over here, it doesn't say Pinot Noir anywhere. It never will. In France, they labeled the area that the wine is grown from. Okay? Alright, so let's do this. If you guys have them all like next to each other, I would say that the colors aren't too far off from each other.
No. Specifically, the first two are like super similar.
Yeah, very similar. The third one's a little bit deeper, but I think the second one has more of like a tawny color, like a brownish. Okay, so let's try this first one. So yeah, obviously very transparent. It's gonna be. Oh yeah. Smelling is I just get like maybe cherry, but I'm getting a lot of alcohol vapors.
Yeah.
So if you get a lot of alcohol, it's always like a good idea just to let your wine breathe a little bit like this.
Super raspberry. For me.
Raspberry and acid. Like a raspberry candy. Like one of those sour, like a warhead.
That they had a raspberry flavor.
This would be really good with any sort of pasta sauce that has tomatoes in it. Acid and acid are your friends when you're pairing food and wine.
Yeah.
So, we were talking about this the other day. When you drink wine, especially from the old world, which would be like Italy, France, Spain, Germany, it's a pretty much no-brainer. Whatever grows together can be ate and drank together.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you just look at Italy, a lot of their red wines are kind of high acid, good wines, and that is paired really well with like tomato sauce. So this is kind of the same thing. This wine is high acid. It would be paired with some sort of acidic sauce or even like a lighter meat, I think. Like not like a steak. I wouldn't eat this with like a big ribeye, but I would eat it with like a nice, like a pork or even chicken or salmon.
Yeah.
So your pairing in your box that you took home, we highlighted some of our new sauces in our street foods menu. This is sent to you in the link as well, so you guys can open this up and look at it. But the sauce that we chose for this pairing was the Norma sauce. It has eggplant, basil, San Marzano tomatoes, and a ricotta cheese, which I think the ricotta cheese is going to be perfect with this because it's a little like
silky,
cooling. So yeah.
This would be good with like a balsamic chicken.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because that acid.
Yeah.
You definitely want some acid.
I like this.
I don't get like a ton of green notes, like so I would only use anything green as like just like a garnish, like how the basil is. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. This isn't.
I'm not gonna start with like
it's not maybe not like a zucchini dish or anything like a big like a you know.
I like
good.
it.
This is nice. And guys, I lied to you. This says Pinot Noir right in the front. It says Burgundy as well. Hey, make mistakes.
No one's perfect.
So let's move on to our next one. The next region I picked was New Zealand. New Zealand is, Pinot Noir in New Zealand is their number one red grape grown there.
Their number one white grape is Sauv Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc, yes. Yes, see, you know more than me. So yeah, this is, New Zealand is made up of two islands, the North Island and the South Island. There is a mountain range that goes through the South Island. So it's, even though technically on the latitude line, it should be a little bit warmer than what it is, but because of those mountains, and it's completely surrounded by cold ocean. So where wine grows, it's just a little bit colder than where, when you think about the location on the map, it should be, okay? Which is perfect for Pinot Noir. Okay. Also, New Zealand is a super green wine growing region. They have like 90% complete like sustainability there. So like they, yeah, it's like
I didn't know that.
one of the best for the earth places to grow grapes. There's
Okay.
very little waste, and they make it like that's the number one priority over anything. If you can't do that, then you're really not going to be successful at growing grapes there,
Okay.
which is cool. So
Yeah, it's great.
not a lot of people are doing. Not a lot of vineyards are doing that. So this one is, like I said before, a little bit more tawny in color. If that makes sense.
Kind of reminds me. Tell me if I'm wrong, but like maybe like what like a port wine would look
Yeah,
like.
yeah, like a port wine, a little bit lighter than like a port wine. I think a port would be
Yeah.
a little bit darker.
Well,
but
yeah.
but that
That
same
brown.
color. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is lighter. Oh yeah, way different smell, right?
Super
this is like
different.
ripe raspberry, strawberries, very berry for me. Some sort of like a vanilla,
Yes.
like a. When I smell vanilla, I think of like a baked fruit, you know,
Yeah.
like a baked berry pie or a berry compote.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I like
that's silky.
Yeah. Sounds good.
This makes me feel fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really nice. This is a all-weather wine, I think.
Absolutely.
All-season wine, I mean.
Absolutely.
So we paired this wine with the cacio sauce because I get
I love that
I
wine.
get a little black pepper at the like I
do.
think it can
Yeah.
hold up.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
some spice, and the creaminess would be good with that, like nice acid, right? I would still call this a light-bodied wine,
I agree.
but with that Parmesan and that.
Yes.
Yeah. I keep going back for a little too much more. This is very good.
That's good.
Yeah, really good. New Zealand, I would say, out of all of the Pinot Noirs that we're trying tonight, is the best bang for your buck.
Okay.
This, I want, they have some other ones that I didn't choose that were like in the $26 range.
Okay.
This was a little bit less, but again, there you're looking under 30, but you're getting real quality wines for it.
Yeah.
I would pick New Zealand as like a region where you bring something to, like as a gift to somebody, you know, like maybe something they wouldn't expect.
Yeah. Well, Pinot Noir is like the perfect
Yes.
wine for people who are strictly white wine drinkers that
Yes.
don't ever really venture into red. Pinot Noir is the perfect like bridge.
Yeah. And we've always been taught, like,
Okay.
we both have been in this industry for a long time, so we've always been taught if you go to a table and there's like a woman drinking white and a man drinking red, you offer a Pinot Noir for a bottle. You know, just
Right.
like in, it's definitely a beginner red wine drinker, but it satisfies both
Yeah.
palates. I think.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
I'm red all the way. Tam's mostly red all the way.
Yeah.
But
we drink a lot of Pinot Noir.
yeah,
Research and development purposes.
that's it strictly, not for really.
All right, we're gonna move on to the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is almost over, guys. Don't forget, keep
Good.
pausing if you need to. Okay, so this is, for the budget that I stay in for these classes, this is definitely my favorite Pinot Noir.
Okay.
It is from the Willamette Valley in Oregon. It's just a really nice Pinot Noir. It has a little bit more body, it has a little bit more earthy tones than the first two.
Okay.
So, I've had this before, obviously, so I already know what it's going to taste like. And also, this one is a good one that you can do the legs view
Yeah.
on. It might be hard on those little cups that we gave you, but if you do have a wine glass, grab one and do it here, because the legs are nice and slow moving, which, you know, that's quality. It's probably alcohol too. This is a 14% alcohol, so this is one you don't really have a glass or two of.
Yeah.
But so this one is definitely going to be like more of a garnet color. Yeah,
That's good.
this is why it's my favorite Pinot Noir.
Very drinkable.
Like more earthy
Yeah.
than the first two, right?
Minerality.
Minerality, yes. So something you can do to judge how much tannin a wine has, when you take a sip of it, and Pinot Noir has a pretty low tannin because the skins on the grape are pretty thin.
Yeah.
So, but like something like Cabernet has a lot of tannin, thick skins, or like Syrah or something like that. But what you can do is when you take a sip, put a little of it like in between your upper lip and your teeth, and it feels like your gums are like pulling away a little bit. It's like a drying sensation, right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, real weird. Wow.
Yeah. Now your like whole mouth feels dry.
It's a sweater.
It's like a sweater. Yeah. And those are the wines I prefer. Like I'm drinking a sweater. The drier the better. So this is the very low end of my dryness spectrum.
Yeah. Delicious.
Yeah, it's so good. This is definitely still ripe red fruit, like berry.
Yeah.
Like some, like even maybe like blackberry.
I would say black.
But it has that like earthiness, like a mushroomy, like that savory flavor.
Yeah.
Not like.
When I say mineral, I feel like I want to say dirt.
No, it's
but
like dirt.
Yeah,
That's good. That's
dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we paired this one with. Melissa's gonna say this because it's not my gig.
On our, in your bag, your whole kit and caboodle, it's the amatriciana sauce.
And that
which
has
is,
what in it?
Pancetta and San Marzano tomatoes.
And then basil as well.
Basil.
Yeah. And we added mushrooms to this one.
Mushrooms.
And Luke, our chef that does all of the food for all of our pairings, his name is Luke, he candied the pancetta in this Pinot Noir. So even full
Perfect.
circle, yeah,
Full
delicious.
circle. So yeah.
So make sure to like write down which ones did you like. Did you like the higher acid? Did you like it a little bit like the more earthy?
Yeah.
Maybe, like a little bit fuller bodied one.
Yeah.
I try to do a progression of like light to heavier, but they're all completely different.
They are, and
it's all about region. That was the big point of this class. Is we only took 2 grapes, and we picked from every separate wine growing region just to show that like weather and sunlight and water and wind, they all matter. That's it's not just. I mean, some places in France it's vineyard to vineyard, like plot to plot.
right.
It's crazy. So it's just like a little insight into how deep you can go into the wine world. I
Yeah.
think.
But
And
this is just like the tip of the
Yeah,
iceberg.
the tip of the iceberg,
Yeah.
for sure. We picked 2 very popular grapes, so red and white. We'll do this one again maybe and pick some different ones.
Yeah.
So let's do our next up and coming wine classes. This was also sent to you guys, but I'll just list them off. Here's our little flyer here. I don't know if that's hard to see or not. Is that okay? So our classes that we have coming up, our next one, well, we have one on the 1st that we will do virtually again. Again, these are all going to be offered virtually as long as the great governor of Pennsylvania lets me sell alcohol to go. If not, we'll get creative, don't worry. So the next ones that haven't been announced yet, September 15th is called Vino in the Dark. And it is a
That's a fun name.
blind tasting. You do not get blindfolded. You do not know what wines you are drinking, and then you get to guess. So if it was like this and you have 3 reds in front of you, you get to try to guess which one's a Cab, which one's a Merlot,
Yeah, I love
which
that.
one's
That's
a Syrah. So that'll be fun. October, we're gonna do one on the 13th. It's called Splurge versus Economy. Again, I'm gonna hide the bottles so you don't see any labels. And you get to try wines, the same grape, but what my budget pick would be, and then around probably between $40 and $60 bottle of wine.
Okay.
So you get to see, hey, do I really like expensive wine, or do I really like the marketing?
Or it doesn't even matter. Yeah.
Doesn't even matter.
Right.
So October 27th, we're gonna do our first bourbon night.
This is a very exciting
Yes,
class.
yes, very exciting class. Everybody eat a huge lunch
meal.
that day.
Pasta, a lot of pasta,
Yeah.
bread.
So, and then in November 10th, we're doing Tan's Winter Wish List. You will be able to sample wines from one of our private vendors and then purchase those wines for gifts. Perfect for like Christmas or holidays.
That's like a laid back class.
Yeah,
Super laid back.
Yeah. And then November 24th, we are going to do a beer school. I don't know which brewery I'm going to pick yet because it's kind of been a shortage with everything going on. So we'll pick that, and Luke will come up with something really great to pair with everything. There could be a possibility of doing a bubbles class in December.
That sounds
But
good.
we have to see and wait, and if we get back up to capacity here,
Yeah.
we might not be able to do it. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight, and this was a really great first virtual wine class, right?
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers,
Thanks.
guys. Thank you so much. Make sure to check out Zoom around 7 o'clock and come on and ask us any questions, okay? Thanks.